Hey everyone, and welcome to Card of the Week number 1. And this week we're going to be talking about, drumroll please, Sasaya Orochi Ascendant. Alright, let's jump right into it here. Sasaya Orochi Ascendant is a legendary green snake monk creature who was first printed in Saviors of Kamigawa. And with a mana cost of 1 and 2 green and sprouting a 2-3 stat line, it doesn't really seem all that impressive. However, you look at its secondary ability and I believe that makes up for it. So what you do is you reveal your hand at any time while Sasaya is on the field, and as long as your hand contains at least 7 land, you can flip it into a legendary enchantment. But before we talk about the enchantment side, I just want to iterate that you can activate Sasaya's ability multiple times, which is a good trick to allow you to avoid creature destruction effects and the like. So once flipped, it becomes a legendary enchantment called Sasaya's Essence, whose effect allows your land to tap for an extra mana for every land you control with the same name. So think of it as this way, as in 1 forest makes 1 green, 2 make 4, 3 make 9, 4 make 16, 5 make 25. It's kind of an exponential growth type of thing. So what it boils down to is this is Mana Ramp Incarnate. Okay, now we move on to the lore section. So I will start this off by saying I couldn't find a whole lot on Sasaya during my research. I didn't have access to the Kamigawa books, and the general knowledge I could find about her was spotty at best. But based on the bits I did find, I believe I can make several reasonable statements about her, and then at the end I'll make one that's not really so much of a statement, but something that I kind of believe from what I know. So first off, Sasaya is a female member of the Orochi race that inhabit the Junkai forest of the Kamigawa plain. Now, they're generally a hidden people, and they've really only made contact with the monks, and they weren't really involved in the Kami Wars at all. They didn't really care. The Orochi are split into 3 tribes, although they kind of more act as a caste system. You have the Kashi tribe, which means oak, and they're the ones who are dedicated to defending the colony, so they're like the warriors. You have the Matsu, who are the archers and scouts, and their name means pine. And you have the Sakura, or cherry tribe, who are the shamans and the monks and such like. They take their name from the cherry trees that they often use in ceremonies. So, based on her role and abilities, we can safely assume that she is a member of the Sakura tribe. Pardon me. As a legendary creature, she is either a leader or at least a high-ranking member of the tribe with the ability to meld her life forces with that of the earth and nature itself, as is shown by Sasaya's Essence ability. So, going on to this last little part here of lore, since this is going to be rather short, as I said, I couldn't find a whole lot. So as a personal belief, the Essence cards seem to depict that the character in question died, or at least did or passed on, or something like that. So it could be assumed that Sasaya is either deceased at the time of the transformation, or has outgrown the need for a physical body. Alright, so as I said before, Sasaya is pretty much the poster child for a Mana Ramp style deck. However, I will be the first to admit that even though I love her and appreciate her a great deal, there are better commanders out there that you could take for that kind of style of deck. However, I still want to take some time and just quickly go over a few cards that help her out and some that she herself supports. First up, we have what I would like to call the backbone of the deck, Storm Cauldron. So, which is a 5-cost artifact that makes sure that you always have the necessary land in your hand if you need to. As you can see here, what it does is whenever a player taps a land for mana, return that land to its owner's hand. So it's a great way also to interrupt your opponent's playstyles. However, once you play it, you will become a target, so be careful about that. Next up is Cultivate / Kadama's Reach / that entire cycle of cards. They're great because not only do they give you excess mana that you can put out, they also put one in your hand to keep paying towards Sasaya's cost, so that's always a must include. Okay, moving on now, we have Land Cheats. So they're not quite the same as Reach or Cultivate, but you will want to have these cards to help dump your land after you flip Sasaya, or decide at the very least you'd rather have the land. So since there are many effects like that, I'm just going to put 4 to 6 of them up here on the screen, and you can understand where that's coming from. Nantuko Cultivator. I cannot sing the praises of this card enough. It is absolutely insane for its ability, and is great for refilling your hand after Sasaya's flipped, so definitely seek this guy out. Plus, he's just good in any Mana Ramp deck. That which was taken is kind of an outlier, because the weakness of Mono Green is that it doesn't have a whole lot to protect its enchantments, and this card can help fix that. Only problem is that it's kind of vulnerable itself, so yeah. Helix Pinnacle. Best base win condition? That's all I have to say about it. You can get it in 1 turn, and it's great. Okay, ending off now here on Squall Line, which I like to count as the if I can't win, then nobody else can card. Perfect for the player who loves the taste of salt. Alright, so we have our first card of the week over with, and I would just like to say that I hope this video inspires you maybe to experiment with Sasaya, either as a commander or as just a card included in a deck. Like I said, not the best, C grade, D grade maybe, but definitely a whole lot of fun if you can get her abilities going. So, I would once again like to thank you all for your time. I'm Ryder from CounterBalance, and may your top always pop.